Okay, welcome back to the reason we're all here tonight. So, can you please welcome back on stage to induct the fabulous Dutch Tilders, Lloyd Spiegel.
Thank you. I should stress that, I was really close with Dutch. He was, I loved him like a grandfather, and he's definitely my hero, no question about that. But at the same time, I want to acknowledge that there are people who are equally as qualified, or most likely more qualified than me, to be doing this. It is a great honour, but I do share it with all those people who were close with Dutch, and it just happens that I'm the guy who was asked to say a few things, which I hate, by the way. It's much harder without a guitar in your hand. When the idea of a Blues Music Hall of Fame for Victoria was first discussed, who we were going to induct was actually a non-issue. We knew exactly what was going to happen. Because this isn't really about great players with big personalities, even though both inductees tonight had those things to spare. This is actually about blues music in Victoria, how it was created, how it was cultivated, how it's been shaped, and how it's grown over generations. So it's really important that the inductees tonight encompass that. I always figured that the ultimate goal in music has always been to be a link in the chain of its evolution. And with the blues scene, it's exactly the same. I definitely want to be a link in that chain, as I'm sure most of the musicians in this room would like to be. So, it stands to reason that tonight we induct, for the first evening, the man who forged that very first link. Dutch Tilders was an unmatched influence and force in Australian blues music, especially here in Victoria. I hear him all the time. I hear him in his peers. I hear him in the countless musicians like myself that he took under his wing. And I actually even hear him in the younger generation of blues musicians who never even heard him or got to speak to him. He's an underlying current in our scene. Every solo blues artist going out to gig in Melbourne this week has an element of Dutch Tilders in him. And photos from the Blues Club's legendary Sunday sessions at the Station Hotel will show an audience full of the next two generations of blues artists on stage, and they are absolutely the blueprint for Victorian blues music. So, in saying that, I don't want to make this a big long speech. I'd like to just take a moment to reflect and take a listen and take a look at this year's inductee, Mr. Dutch Tilders. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great privilege to honour Dutch Tilders as an inductee into the Blues Music Victoria Hall of Fame. I'd like to welcome the equally legendary Blues Club to accept this on his behalf.
Style, I've got to adjust them. Well, thank you, Lloyd Spiegel. Beautifully spoken. Well, this is very fitting. I think everyone would agree. thanks to Blues Music Victoria for not only having the thought to do this, but following through and making it happen. We've got a Blues Music Hall of Fame in Victoria now. The fact that we are honouring two of our biggest personalities in our little blues scene is absolutely apt, and I'm just a little overwhelmed to be standing up on the stage, even being, like Lloyd says, some little link in there. For my part, I came to Melbourne as a little country boy with dreams of playing guitar in a band, and I loved the blues. Everyone told me to go and see the Dutchman. If you're into the blues, go and see the Dutchman. I thought they were crazy. What do I want to see a Dutchman for? I'm into the blues. And eventually I went to the Windsor Castle. I've told many people this. I went to the Windsor Castle on a Monday night where Dutch was playing a gig with these two chaps. Barry Hills on bass, Winston Galea on drums, a guy called Martin Cooper on guitar, who was just magnificent. And that became my favourite band. I saw that Dutch was he'd just begun his set, and within 4 bars, I was an absolute hopeless fan and a Dutch Tilders music addict. And then I used to go and see him as often as I could, and I learned so much. I don't think he ever sat down with a guitar and showed me anything, but I just used to go and watch him and listen to him. I wanted to be just like him. As I've told people, I thought, well, if I'm going to be like that guy, I'm going to start drinking Heineken, and I'm going to start smoking whatever those cigarettes are he's smoking. We're honoured to have played with the man. I'm going to hand it to Winston to say a word or two.
Thank you, Geoff. Geoff left out a little piece of information there where, unbeknown to Geoff, he was playing at the Argo Hotel, the Argo Inn, I believe, and Dutch was having a few problems trying to work out why things just weren't working. And I said, why don't we go down and check out this young fella, just new to Melbourne, let's go and have a look. So we went down there, Dutch in true fashion. Well, I don't know about this fella, but he can play. And I said, well, maybe he might get a chance to come up and see us play, you know. So anyway, he did, and the rest is history. So thanks for coming along.
It's funny that everyone has a Dutch story. Well, I got off the boat from Tasmania in 1984 on a Monday, and Monday night I went to Windsor Castle. The bass player, Peter Howe, said, what the hell are you doing in town? Because I'd worked with him in Tasmania. I said, I'm just moved over. He said, you beauty, I'm just about to go to Adelaide, you want a gig? So, 14 years later, I'm still playing with Dutch. And look, he taught us so much roadcraft and how to drink and how not to drink sometimes. But yes, and it's made us all much better human beings. But look, it's been a privilege to be part of all of his albums and that I had and did, and the privilege to be part of these guys as well. So, and the family over here, we've met them over the years. It's lovely to see the whole family here as well. Okay, and thank you very much.